Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Destiny 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, Ikor is the one. Let's get to it. This week starts the final assault in the Vex Offensive for Season 8, the Season of Undying. One of the things that you're going to do is go talk to Ikora, and Ikora is going to say, hey, the gate's ready to go, and we've tried it out, and it works. But the Undying Mind is spread across thousands, if not more, timelines, and we're going to need all the help we can get. This, of course, points to a unnamed community challenge. So as a Destiny 2 community, we're going to have to come together and kill a certain number of Vex and a certain number of Undying Minds. Now, once you pick up your bounties from Ikora, you are going to look at your director, you're going to go to the director, you're going to go to the moon, and in that spot where the Vex Offensive is, it changed locations a little bit, and now it says Final Assault. And that is all you need to do to start it up. So if you do not want any bounties related to the Vex Offensive, you don't have to pick them up. You don't have to talk to anyone in particular. If you want to talk to Ikora and get the 411 on what's going on, then you can, but it is not necessary. You can go and just start up the Final Assault and see what it is all about. And what is it all about? Well, to be honest, it looks and feels exactly the same as the Vex Offensive for the past several weeks. Ever since the beginning of the Vex Offensive, it has been the same thing over and over again. You do one wave, get to 100%, and then you kill the Minotaurs, you grab the Void Charge, you kill the crystals, and then you're done with that section. Move on to section 2 of the map, do the same thing. Get that percentage, kill a bunch of guys, you get to 100%, and then the second wave in that section starts up. You kill the Minotaurs, you grab the Void Charge, you shoot it at the crystals, destroy the crystals, and then you're done with that section. Failure to complete any section doesn't mean you fail the Vex Offensive, but instead means that you get one less chest. There are a total of 3 chests possible, 3 areas, 3 chests, and failing the first 2 sections means that you will not have a chest for either of those sections or whichever section that you do not complete within the time limit. Now, the last section is unfailable, and what I mean by that is that your team can completely wipe out and you're going to keep going until that final boss gets taken out. So whether or not you complete it isn't the question. It is how quickly and how many nodes before you complete it. So while the first 2 sections look and feel the same, the third section also looks and feels the same, with one big exception. And that is, instead of a giant Minotaur that comes out of the gate, you put down a beacon that transmits that Vex portal that Ikora worked on, brings it in, calls in the Undying Mind, which of course is a big Hydra. Now, this Hydra is more similar to the Hydra from the Menagerie. And if you're not familiar, the Menagerie Hydra has kamikaze harpies that will be sent out periodically and will seek guardians and do damage by explosive means, as well as having the Aeon Maul, which is that void, almost like lob bomb that comes in, and it's just relentless. So of all the different things that it could be, this of course could be potentially challenging to stay alive. Now, having said all that you need to do, how do we all feel about the progression and this single evolving world as it was explained previously before Shadowkeep came out? So Bungie had explained that had they had this single evolving world previously before Shadowkeep, maybe they would have had the Forge, Ada 1 lady. She would be there doing her thing, and then sometime during the season you would have like the Drifter come in and they would get in an argument, and then she would leave and then leave her stuff with Banshee, so you could still do Forge the frames, but she would no longer be in the tower, and the makeup of what was going on would change throughout time and throughout the seasons. And then, of course, the Drifter would set up shop in that area in the Annex, and you would have Gambit Prime. So as the Season of Undying has unfolded, we had the moon, and then we saw the Vex coming to the moon and the Vex Offensive. Once the Vex Offensive started, we just kind of went through over and over again, going in, getting those weapons that you can get and armor, substitutional armor, which of course is a seasonal armor, and then the Vex weapons that you can get, the subjective, etc., that you could grind for if that is what you wanted. So in the Season of Undying, we've seen the Vex come to the moon. We've seen Ikora kind of respond to that, and you can see every week there would be a change to the Vex Gate, but that was really it. And then, of course, now we have the Undying Mind, which is the only difference in the Vex Offensive, along with that Vanguard modded Vex Gate to pull the Undying Mind from whatever timeline. So I kind of feel like the evolving part is a little bit lackluster, and maybe it was expectation that there would be a little bit more to it. You know, if we had talked to Zavala, say, one time when we went to the tower, and then as we were talking to him, we see him walk off screen. We go out of the menu, and then he's not there anymore. But there's a marker over by where Ikora is at, and we go over to Ikora, and he and Ikora are talking about, you know, something to do with the Vex and how are we going to deal with so many timelines or something to that effect. You know, or we go to the tower one time and we see Asher Mir talking to Ikora about you know, how to properly align the Vex Gate with different timelines or whatever. And maybe that would be tipping their hand a little bit as to what they were going to do and what you would expect in the future, which of course is what is going on presently. However, I don't know how you guys felt, but I kind of feel like there should have been a little bit more to it than what we've seen. Yes, we've seen the moon with the Fallen and the Hive, and then the Vex came in. And then we had the Vex Offensive, and we go in and we have that activity to do, which is technically on the moon, but technically not on the moon, because after all, it is in the Black Garden, and the Black Garden is not on the moon. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I would have liked a little bit more story-driven, evolving world or evolving story in the system known as Destiny to just do a little bit more rather than just go to Ikora once a week and find out that, yeah, the Vex are a problem. Yeah, I knew that the Vex are a problem, and them invading the moon is a problem. Whatever they have planned for the moon can't be good. And perhaps there will be more to it as we go through the final assault in the Vex Offensive, but do not get your hopes up. This may be the ending, or almost the ending, where we have this final assault. We get the kills, we do whatever we need to do, like I said, as of yet unnamed, and then once we get that certain number of Undying Mind kills or whatever, then boom, Vex Offensive will disappear. We'll talk to Ikora, she'll have some champagne or whatever, and that's it. And then we'll start transitioning into the next season. And I wouldn't expect that until, you know, the next week or maybe even the final week of the Season of Undying. So yes, it's nice to see an evolution of the game as a season progresses, especially since they're offering this battle pass that goes with each season. But it seems a little bit underwhelming. So I would have liked to seen a little bit more in terms of changes in story, not just a snapshot of building the Vex Gate and a blurb from one character that says whatever. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Guardian down.
There are hundreds, maybe thousands of copies of the Undying Mind lurking in the network. The only way we'll put an end to the Vex incursions on the moon is by destroying every last one. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. This fight is just step one. Ikora's portal should wrench the Undying Mind from wherever, whenever, it might be hiding. Be ready. Once the beacon is deployed, there's no turning back.
Guardian, down.
Great work, Guardian. That's one Undying Mind down. But there are still a great many more left to go. Fortunately for us, we're not alone in this fight.
Guardian down. down.
Another Undying Mind dismantled. But there are still more copies out there, and still more work to do. Let's get to it.